starting at our door, the very first mod we made was a RV lock. We did that so that in the case of emergency, someone could call us and we could let them in the RV to get to our girls. And then we also added an outdoor camera mount that we put on when we're at, off grid, what have you. And we also added LED lighting. Just in the evening time, it's set dim. If somebody walks by, it goes bright, and it is solar operated. We put the extension handle on it to help ourselves in and out, and also put some reflective tape on it so that when we're parked somewhere, even on the steps, if someone drives up beside us, they're going to see that our steps are out. Also, in the main basement area, we actually added sliding doors. I took the stock walls out and I added sliding doors. I did do a video on that. That would be in our playlist. Check it out if you're interested in doing that. I actually picked up 8 inches worth of storage in this area, and you'll see on the other side I have the capability of inspecting my plumbing and furnace and things like that. I also added reflective to all my doors and to the floor or the roof line of the basement, which made a huge difference as far as the insulation package. On the bottom, I did a video where I took the armor off and I added insulation and reflective all the way down the rig, and that made a huge difference. I mean, probably 15 degrees, both in the summertime and the wintertime. Now, we started these mods almost 2 years ago, getting ready to go to Alaska. Now, last year, Alaska trip got postponed, but we are on that trip this year, and these mods are working out great. I'm also going to add that we stayed with the manufactured 20-pound propane tanks on both sides. With our solar batteries and everything, we can run our electric heat on our water tank, and we just haven't used it. I mean, I actually put a 30-gallon tank in there to see if it would fit in Colorado, and it does. But then we got to thinking, why do the upgrade, spend the money, when we never have problems? We'll go a month or longer sometimes on these 2 tanks. Walking around the front, we added the MORride kingpin. A very small, but most important, we added some leveling. In our avionics bay, I'm calling it, what we started out was with 1 battery like everybody else, so my spare tire was in this area. I now carry that in my truck, but we've added 3 solar controllers. I have 4 breakers and 3 more breakers. I've added 4 100-amp batteries, Renogy. The original cutoff switch, original bus bar. I made my own bus bars for negative and positive with grade 8 and 1/8 inch steel with some fusing and current limiters throughout the entire run with the appropriate size wiring. Another breaker for my DC-DC charger. I added a smart detector. Just recently put in this 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. So we've done quite a few upgrades. 850 watts of solar, 650 on the roof line, and 250 for the ground. I actually put a connection point here for my ground solar. Now, I actually have 4 solar controllers. You might be wondering why I have such a large array of solars and controllers. Well, it's redundancy. We decided that going with 1 system, if anything fails in the system, you're down. In our case, we have our battery or generator that we keep in our truck. We have 3 different solar arrays, all have their own independent solar controller and a backup solar controller I'll show you in a moment. And no matter what, we're going to have power. So we're pretty secure. Yes, it's a little heavy with the glass mat batteries, but I run these things down continuously to 30%, and we've had them for 2 years now, no problems. We will eventually upgrade to lithium, but we did it as we required power. Here is another Renogy solar controller. That's for my largest array, which is 400 watts up on the roof. And this is the other side of my doors, and I can look in here and inspect everything as far as my plumbing. My pumps are easy access, furnace, everything's right there. And those are my 2 ground solar panels. Now you may have noticed that I have several different manufacturers. Well, the main difference is my whole solar array up on top is the stock one that came in with the rig, which is Wind, and then I have a Renogy system, and I also have Harbor Freight solar panels. The reason I went with those, and I also have a Jupiter pure wave inverter, 3000 watt, which you can pick up at Harbor Freight, has internal switching. The reason I did that is there's Harbor Freights everywhere, guys. So moving on, we have a couple of 90 degrees for my water in, my wash down for my black tank. This here is a little pump I put on so that when I'm filling up my freshwater tank, when I'm off grid, I don't have to pick that water up. I just hook up my lines, put my drill on it, and it pumps itself in. So it just makes life easier for us. Moving on around to the back, right here I'm running a 20 amp cord, and I can run everything on this rig because I have an easy start on one of my air conditioners, and I can run off 20 amps, no problems. This cord right here is coming from my avionics bay up front, runs through the chassis, and it connects my inverter to my pigtail. You might remember that I had bicycles, kayaks, and my tote back here. Well, for this Alaska trip, I took the kayaks and the bikes off, and that rack, that saved me almost 300 pounds, and I installed a smaller rack because I'm going halibut fishing and I'm going salmon fishing. I hope to be loaded down fish when I come back. So moving on around, here is another level. I have a total of 4 on the rig, and these things, I just can't say enough about that $8 I spent for that. Underneath, I redid my suspension, and I did a video on this, but I've added shocks. I added the wet bolt kit with the oversized brackets, and I added road armor. 6 inches worth of travel and shock absorbers. You just can't beat the ride, and they're very easy to grease. I did a video on that, and I get under here and I put a wrench on them every once in a while. We haven't had any problems, no issues whatsoever. We had no breakage inside the rig, and these are all the main modifications I've made to the rig for the Alaska trip. This is what we did to make this Alaska trip so that we minimize any breakage. We're over 4,000 miles into the trip as we're speaking right now, at an awesome campsite, and hadn't had any. I did add a TPMS system. We had one before we purchased this unit, and it was a little cheaper. I think it was 50 bucks. This one was about 250. I don't remember the name of it, but I will tell you it was worth every dime. TPMS, guys. If you're gonna be pulling a rig, I don't care what size it is, you need TPMS. I can't say enough about TPMS. They have saved our butts a couple times, twice in one day. Both times I was able to get off the road, get the tire changed, and it turned out being just cheap valve stems. I ended up putting some steel valve stems in, and I recommend that than anything else when it comes to your wheels and tires, that you put steel valve stems in. I did also, which you can't see, but I did install self-adjusting brake assemblies on my axles also. It came stock with manual adjusting, pain in the butt, so I installed self-adjusting. A little expensive, well worth it. Overall, those are all the mods we've made to our rig, specifically for the Alaska trip. And we've done this over the last 2 years. Did all the work myself, so it was a fraction of if you'd had someone else do it. And oh, one more thing, my roof line, I lined my roof line with Turnabond tape 2 years ago, and it has saved me 4 times now, I think, where a tree limb rubbed it and it tore into the tape instead of into my roof. And I just went in, took that section out, put a new section in, just replaced all my seals. Maintenance, it's called preventative maintenance. I've done a video on some things to look for every time you stop after a long trip. You maintain these rigs and they last. This is a Forest River Cherokee, and 35 foot. I'm at 12,000 pounds, I think, total. We just downloaded the rig for this trip, and we took almost 1,000 pounds or more off of it. and we're over 4,000 miles into the trip, like I said. So that's everything we've added to our rig in preparation for the Alaska trip, both inside and outside for the most part. If you have any questions or you have any comments, or have you done this to your rig yourself, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Give us a like if you would, and tell us if you think we went overboard. You know, we live in this thing full time, so I don't think we've gone overboard, because we've tested all these mods that we've done to the rig. And if I had to throw a number at it, honestly, I'd say we've probably done $7,000 worth of mods. But if you had someone do this, or you did it from the factory, oh my God, you'd have $20,000 in mods on your rig doing all this.